Nazir.
Uh,
Aleph Beis.
Adam.
Nazir first. Nazir, Aleph Beis.
Okay. Olive base. One who says, I am a Nazir from seeds or from grape skins, or from haircuts, or from tumor, or he is a Nazir, and all the details of Nazir apply to him. One who says, I am like Samson, like the son of Manoach, the husband of Delilah, like him who tore out the gates of Gaza, like him who the Philistines gouged out his eyes, he is a Samsonite Nazir. What is the difference between a permanent Nazir and a Samsonite Nazir? A permanent Nazir, if his hair grows heavy, he may lighten it with a razor and bring three animals, and if he becomes tummy, he brings the sacrifice for tumor. Well, Samson and Nazir, if his hair grows heavy, he may not lighten it, and if he comes tummy, he does not bring the sacrifice to Tuma. Standard Naziris is for 30 days. If he said, I am a Nazir for one large term, or for a Nazir for one small term, or even from here until the end of the world, he is a Nazir for 30 days. One who says, I'm a Nazir and one day, or I'm a Nazir and 1 hour, or I'm a Nazir for one term and a half, he is a Nazir for two terms. If he says, I'm a Nazir for 30 days and 1 hour, he is a Nazir for 31 days because one cannot extend Naziris by hours. If he says, I am a Nazir as much as the hair on my head or the dust of the earth or the sand of the sea, he is a Nazir forever, and he shaves his head once every 30 days. Rebbe says this one does not shave his head once every 30 days. One is who is the one who shaves his head once every 30 days? One who says, let there be an obligation of Naziris upon me as much as the hair on my head, or as much as the dust of the earth, or as the sand of the sea.
Okay. Hareini Nazir Melo Habayis. He says, I am a Nazir, and as much as this house is full, and or Melo HaKuppah, or as much as this box is full. So now that's a very ambiguous statement. So we ask him a clarifying question. But Kimoso, what do you mean by that? Imamar achas gedola nazartis. I mean, it's big. It's a big thing, and that's what I view this as. It's like as if it's full. So if it's just an expression of okay, it seems like a big thing. Okay, then is 30 days because 30 days is that's a big thing as well. But Achas gadol nazarti nazi 30 yom. Ve'im amar stam nazarti. No, I just said that, and I'll leave it up to Chazal to determine what it meant, what it actually is that I meant. Ro'ina sakupa ke'ilahu milei chardal. Then we look at this box and say, okay, you said it was full, so it's full of mustard seeds, and that's one mustard seed for each day that you're going to be a Nazir. And that's little mustard seeds go a long way. So basically, we now say you're a Nazir Olam, right? And it's not terms of Nazir. If he said I'm a Nazir, not we remember the distinction between a Nazir Olam, who is just one super long term of Naziris for the rest of his life, and he gets the opportunity once a year to trim his hair. As opposed to somebody who has rolling periods of Naziris, 30 days, 30 days, 30 days for the rest of his life. So this is the former.
Right.
Okay. Hareni Nazir mikan ad makom ploni. It says, I'm a Nazir from here until where some place. How so this sounds like a guy who's saying, look, I'm a little worried about my journey to this place, and therefore I want this chus of being a Nazir to protect me from on my journey. So you say, okay, well, how long is it going to take him to get to such a place under normal circumstances? If it Omrim kama yamim mikan ad makom ploni. How many days does it normally take to get there? Im pachos mishloshim yom. If it's less than 30 days, then he's Nazir shloshim yom, because that of course is the minimum. You cannot be a Nazir for less than 30 days. Im lav Nazir Kaminyan Hayamim. But if not, if it's like a 3 month journey by sea to get to whatever, then he's a Nazir for 3 months. Yeah. Hareini Nazir Kaminyan Yemos Hachama. If he says, I am a Nazir like the number of days of the solar year. Okay. Now, if he had just wanted to say, I want to be a Nazir for a year, then he would have just said, Ani Nazir Limos Hashana. Okay, then that would have been a 365-day term of Naziris. But he said Kaminyan Yamos Hechama. So why is he clapping on that number of days? Mone Nazirus Kaminyan Yamos Hechama. That means he has undertaken 365 30-day terms. Okay, so that means that he is going to be a Nazir for approximately 30 years. Okay, but again, it's a rolling terms of Naziris. It's not one long Naziris. It's these are now rolling terms of Naziris. And Amar Rabbi Yehuda Masehaya, this is actually a shaila that was asked, and he became a Nazir. Kevan shehishlim meis. And he finished his. He actually managed to finish all 365 months of Naziris after 30 years, and at that point he died.
Right.
So yeah, um,
Well,
yeah. So actually, wait, hold on a second. It's 12. Just do the math quickly. It's 12 months. So 365 divided by 12. Yeah, right. So it's about 30 days. Exactly about 30 years. That's why the math works out. Okay, back to Nazir, to Nadarim.
no. Okay. Oh, what I just messed up my papers here. Okay, here we go. Should be, I think it's Yud Aleph.
Hmm.
Anara, who is betrothed, her father and her husband revoke her in the Durham. If the father revoked the nether, but the husband did not revoke it, or if the husband revoked it, but the father did not revoke it, is revoked. Certainly, this is so for one of them confirmed. If the father dies, the sole right does not fall to the husband. If the husband dies, the sole right does not fall to the father. In this matter, the power of the father surpasses that of the husband. In another matter, the power of the husband surpasses that of the father, for a husband can revoke his wife's Nadarim even after he has been a Megaris, for the father cannot revoke the Nadarim once she has become a Megaris. If she vowed while she was betrothed and was divorced on the same day, and betrothed again the same day, even to 100 men, her father and her current husband cannot revoke her Nadarim. This is the general rule. As long as she had never entered into a state of independence for even 1 hour, the father and her current husband revoke her Nadarim. Okay.
Okay, back to Ksubos. Yud Aleph base.
Aleph base. A widow, either after Erison or if the marriage may sell without the sanction of a court. Reb Shimon says if the marriage she may sell without the sanction of a court. If the Erison she may not sell except with the sanction of a court, because she is not entitled to sustenance, and whoever is not entitled to sustenance may not sell except with the sanction of a court. If she sold the ketubah or part of it, or if she pledged her ketubah as part of it, or if she gave her ketubah or part of it as a gift to another person, she may not sell the rest except with the sanction of a court. The sages, however, say she may sell even 4 or 5 times, and she may sell for sustenance without the sanction of a court, but she should write, I sold for sustenance. But a divorcee may not sell except with the sanction of a court. A widow whose ketubah was 200 zuz and sold property worth 100 for 200, or property worth 200 and 100, has received her ketubah. If a ketubah was 100 and she sold the property worth 100 and a dinner for 100, her sale is void. Even if she says, I will return a dinner to the heirs, a sale is void. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says her sale is always valid unless there will be enough for her to leave over in a field, an area of 9 kavin, in a garden, an area of half a kav, and according to Rabbi Akiva's view, an area of a quarter of a kav. A kasuba was 400 zuz, and she sold it to this one for 100, and to this one for 100. And for the last one, property worth 100 and a dinner for 100, the sale of the last one is void, but the sales of all the others are valid.
Okay.
Megillah.
Megillah Daled Zion.
Okay, Daled Zion. A Kohen whose hands are blemished may not lift his hands. Rabbi Yehuda says, even one whose hands are stained with woad or matter may not lift his hands because the people will stare at him. If one says, I will not go before the ark in colored clothing, he may not go even in white clothing. If he says, I will not go before the ark in sandals, he may not even go barefoot. One who mistakes his tefillin round, makes his tefillin round, endangers himself and does not fulfill the precept. If he places the tefillin on his forehead or on his palm, it is a matter of heresy. If he covered them with gold or if he placed it on his sleeve, this is considered the way of outsiders. If one says, good men shall bless you, this is heresy. If one says, boy, mercy extends even to a bird's nest, for goodness is your name remembered, or we give thanks, and we give thanks, he is silenced. If one gives symbolic interpretations to the prohibitions against forbidden unions, we silence him. If one says the verse, and all your children shall not give over to Molech, means that you should not give of your seed to impregnate a Gentile woman, we silence him with a condemnation.
Okay. So we finish
Next week,
this tomorrow and start Moed Katan.
Moed Katan. And we have Chala.
Daled, Daled, hey.
If there were two calves and a challah was taken from each separately, and afterwards he joined them into one piece of dough, Rebbe Akiva exempts, but the comments say they declare it liable. Thus, its stringency turns into its leniency. Um, one may not take challah quantity from a dough form for which challah had not yet been separated to make it into a state of cleanliness in order to go on separating from challah of demai until it rots. For challah of demai may be taken from the clean, for the unclean, and from that which is not nearby. If Jews were arisen for non-Jews in Syria, Rabbi Eliezer declares their brothers liable to Maestros and to the Jew laws of the seventh year, but Rabbi Gamil exempts. Rabbi Gamil says two chalat in Syria, but Rabbi Eliezer says one chalat. They adopted the lenient ruling of Rabbi Gamil and the lenient ruling of Rabbi Eliezer. They retracted and followed the ruling of Rabbi Gamil in both, in respect of both. Okay. We're still going to finish this. We finish this tomorrow. I don't
Chala
know.
is, yeah, we're going to finish that soon as well. So after
All right.
Chala comes Orla.
Okay. See, I just forgot. You said the next thing we're doing
Moed,
tomorrow
Moed
is
Katan. So
Moise Cotton.
we've got Moed Katan, Orla, and Horai is also coming up because we're going to finish Abos.
Oh, wow. Okay. Abos. Vav Tet. Yossi Ben Kisma says, one time I was traveling on the road and a certain man met me and greeted me, and I returned his greeting. He said to me, my teacher, from which place are you? And he said, I'm from a great city of the sages and scribes. He said to me, my master, do you want to dwell with us in our place? And I will give you thousands upon thousands of golden dinners and precious stones and pearls. I said to him, even if you would give me all the gold, silver, and precious stones and pearls in the world, I would dwell only in a place of Torah. And it states, mine is the silver and mine is the gold, the word of Hashem, master of legions. There are five acquisitions of the Holy One, blessed that he acquired for himself in his world, and these are they. Torah is one acquisition, heaven and earth are one acquisition. Abraham is one acquisition, Israel is one acquisition, and the temple is one acquisition. For where is it known that Torah is one acquisition? For it is written, Hashem made me as the beginning of his way before his deeds of yore. From where is it known that heaven and earth are one acquisition? For it is written that thus Hashem, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. What house could you build for me, and what could be my resting place? And it states, how abundant are your works, Hashem. With wisdom you made them all. They fill the earth with your acquisition. From where it is known that Abraham is one acquisition, for it is written, he blessed him, saying, blessed is Abraham, the God of the Most High, maker of heaven and earth. From where is it known that Israel is one acquisition? For it is written, until your people passes through Hashem, until this people you have acquired passes through. And it states, for the sake of the holy ones who are interested in the earth, and for the mighty who all desires are fulfilled because of them. For where it is known that the temple is not one acquisition, for it is written, the foundation of your dwelling place that you, Hashem, have made, the sanctuary by law that your hands established. And it states, and he brought them to his sacred boundary and his mountain that his right hand acquired. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And the last one, let's go.
I,
The,
I,
the last mission in Abos. Let's you just read two long ones.
Okay. All that the Holy One blessed he created in his world, he created only for his honor. As it states, everyone who called by my name, and whom I have created for my glory, whom I have fashioned, even perfected. And it states, Hashem shall reign for all eternity. Alhamdulillah. Second.
Abos. Okay, and
All
you
right.
skipped Nagaim.
I skipped it, or we're
Yeah,
waiting. Okay.
we must do.
Okay.
We need to do Nagaim now. Yeah,
Yud Gimel A.
yeah.
If someone built a tower building using stones from a confined house, and then Nega returns to the house, he must remove the stones. If Nega returns to the stones, the first house is demolished, and the stones function as an indicator for the second house. When a house extends over an afflicted house, or a tree extends over an afflicted house, someone who enters the outer one is Tahar, and those are the words of Reb Elazar and Asarieh. To Reb Elazar, if one of the stones renders Tameh upon entering, the house itself should certainly render Tameh upon entering. If somebody is standing under a tree and someone tower passes by underneath the tree, the tower person becomes Tameh. If someone tahara is standing under a tree and someone tame passes underneath the tahara person, the tahara person remains tahara. If the tahara person stops, the tahara person becomes tame. The same is true when the afflicted stone is mobile. The tahara person remains tahara. He put the stone down, the tahara person becomes tame. Okay.
Okay. So,
Uh, Before you go, I know I have to run.
yeah.
I won't remember it all. So